Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Ghostbusters, the video game remastered walkthrough.
Hi.
Featuring Devin Dion, the writer and editor of Channeling Spirits, along with...
Hi, I am Heidi Dion. I am the voice of Channeling Spirits.
Hooray! So, Heidi, do you want to recap what you remember of last time?
Oh, gosh.
Playthrough. I just like hearing your
There
attention.
were some hobo ghosts,
Yes.
as you said, that were essentially drunkards throwing martinis. Also, martinis are expensive, so I don't
Well,
know
they
why
were
you would
Molotov
be...
cocktails.
Okay. And then there were construction ghosts of I-4 in Orlando.
Yeah, baby.
And then
It's called arcing. A large
the
pulse of
marshmallows
psychic
ghost that he was just
I thought you
pulling
were
out
just-
of his butt.
So you were just gonna say "and the marshmallows." Yeah. So we defeated Stay Puff, the Marshmallow Man, atop a building, and that is you see the remains of what's left of Gozer spread throughout the city. I like these little background guys just waving. They're like, "Hello, excuse me." Just
Why
they
are
can't be
they
bothered.
Just waving?
They want the attention. They just want to say hey. So I misspoke last time. So I had said Alyssa Selwig she worked for Gambrel Architecture. She doesn't. She actually works for the museum.
Oh,
So yeah, and I'm trying to do this, from memory because we don't have the sound on right now. But she worked there, suddenly came to and was running throughout the museum when the Cyber Energy Pulse, and then I think she mysteriously awoke in the middle of Times Square.
what do I can do with that giant hat?
Just leave it there. Just have it there.
And
So we're back at the firehouse. We got a few fun the cursed objects show up, so you can play with the toaster. We found some
the cursed
architecture.
toaster.
Yeah, we found it. I think we found it in Sedgwick. Sedgwick, not Selwick.
Can't be bothered. I gotta play video games.
I wanna.
Or not video games, pinball.
Pinball.
What am I even saying? I don't even think that was pinball.
No, there's a pinball over there.
Yeah.
There's a spooky red phone.
Right by the bed.
Call Batman. You remember the red phone from Batman?
Yes.
And then I'm actually feeling a little dirty. It's been a long day busting Stay Puff. You know what I need?
Did you guys have one giant communal shower? Oh, I remember because I thought it was so big.
Yeah. I
Are
just
you
gotta.
really gonna pee?
That felt better.
Could you do that?
You
Is
can
that an
you can
option?
flush it,
Oh my god.
but you know what you can do? Take a nice shower.
Yeah, why is there
Just,
goop on the shower? Goopy shower.
don't
Seriously, why is there a goop on the shower? Or is it supposed to be a shower cap?
I don't know. I don't know what that yellow thing
I
is.
don't like it. What are you doing?
It's just gonna get the marshmallow gunk off. That was
I enjoy
refreshing.
running in the shower.
Just
running in place.
running into
in
the
place.
water. All right. So we got Alyssa has come back with us, and she. Oh hey, Winston. She's wearing the Louis Tully colander hat, which is a nice little callback. Hey Ray, how's it? What you doing down there?
So you know
So
much about Gozer because
they were asking her questions and kind of like what I was just recapping about what she remembers, and there's been some mysterious events.
Those hoops, though.
They're 1991.
I used to wear hoops like that.
Oh,
When
wait.
I was
aware
like
that we also
15.
have
That's
some
awesome.
history
That's
with
awesome.
Gozer.
No, and so and I don't have this confirmed, and maybe some listener knows. There's a lot of speculation that Alyssa Milano's character was supposed to be Dan Barrett, which kind of would make sense because they just they don't really mention her. Peter's suddenly interested in her.
Door freaking on the back. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Sure you
What? Ah, Dickless!
Yes, William Atherny.
Why isn't he a ginger?
Uh,
He's definitely a ginger.
He's kind of blondish. Well, he's returned.
No, he's a ginger.
Okay, fine. He's a ginger, but he's returned. Original voice acting, another talented individual, and then we also have Bill Murray's brother, and I don't remember which Murray brother. I'm sorry, but he was actually in Ghostbusters 2, and he is returning as Jacques Mulligan, the mayor of New York City. I don't probably remember his name.
Animated mayor.
Yeah. So, pretty much what has happened is the mayor has instituted a new paranormal oversight
Scary
committee.
face. His eyes
Gozer
bulge.
manifested in a familiar form, one he had used
But the
Stay Puft
acronym
Marshmallow
is
Man, but
Peacock.
this event was weaker than his
So-
first
I want to see
encounter
your
with us.
peacock. Guys.
So Dickless is working for Peacock. His phallic humor, like I said earlier. A lot of weird little jokes. So the mayor's pretty much like, hey, so he's going to have oversight over you. And Dickless is like, well, I'm just going to shut you down. And the mayor's like, well, if you do that, you won't have a job. So you have to work together. So it allows, some oversight. Let me know when you're done.
Yep.
You guys want to grow your business?
No, it allows, some oversight, which he honestly does nothing. He doesn't reel in my destruction at all. Yeah, I don't know what oversight he does other than threaten to shut us down quite a few times.
Anyway, after all the damage you've been causing lately, the city council wants you under close supervision.
Ginger
for a period of no
babies.
less than
I'm
6
also a
months.
ginger. I don't.
You don't have a soul?
No.
Oh, so you can't be a ghost then when you die. Oh,
Funny guy,
are
man.
there redheaded ghosts?
Yeah.
Answer us in the comments.
If
I want to
you know
know
one,
if you
or
know
if you are one,
if you have seen a redheaded ghost,
or if you are a redheaded ghost, drop a comment.
just
Or
use-
just come show up at our house.
hey. So they're getting ready to bust some ghosts. If my memory serves me, I think like there's something happened in the museum, but they're gonna get sidetracked when this cutscene finally ends. They're just gonna keep going.
But remember, if the Ghostbusters cease to exist,
So
so does your
Do you remember
job.
that one time
So you
we
need
were
each
in the
other.
Ghostbusters house at Universal
ironic,
Studios
symmetrical kind of
for
way,
Horror
isn't it?
Nights, and Winston
Hey,
jumped out
Mulligan,
and scared
come
you, but he had this giant
He was so
smile
proud
on
of
his face.
himself.
He was so cute.
it was the randomest jump scare of them all. Like the ghost popping out in the little boo hose, that made sense. But like the Winston suddenly appears and he's just so happy to see me. I was like, you both frightened me and delighted me.
He was cute.
Thank you, Winston, for being.
Okay, big
Wonderful.
night tomorrow, Alyssa. Get some rest.
I don't remember this cutscene going on so long. Look at him dance
that's,
away.
That's how I walked. La-di-da.
See, I guess he's a little Irishman. He's like, hey, I'm leaving now to be a mayor.
But I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, get out of here, Dickless. We got busting to do. Look at him pout away.
That would really suck to be a man and not have a dick.
I mean,
Like if,
probably have some benefits, like Varys.
Yeah.
Be the spider.
Shout out to Game of Thrones.
Oh
when
no,
you
like
were
seasons
good.
like 1 through 5.
When you were good.
Shout out to those seasons. D&D, you know what you did. I gotta say goodbye to Janine. Bye Janine. Bye Vigo. I miss you.
Is Vigo?
You're a horrible piece of poo. I do not like you.
Yes, I know these.
Yes, everything you're doing is bad.
Things I want to say.
Yeah,
People.
yeah. All right, maybe I'll go downstairs, check out the containment unit, release some ghosts. All right, we're just gonna release the ghosts so we have more to do. And all right,
Why? Why? What is wrong
release
with you?
them.
Is that literally part of it? They're like, so we need to release. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't know why.
You guys capture ghosts.
But for some reason, we can't go down to the sub basement. No, for some reason you can interact with it, and it sounds like it's shutting down, and then freaks out.
Why did they come up with the name Ghostbusters and not like Ghost Hunters? Because they are hunting ghosts.
So
They're
there's
not like busting ghosts.
Well, there's
Like,
actually
are the ghosts doing illegal activity? Like, you're busted.
no, there's actually they went through. There's like 3 or 4 names that they were gonna name it because they didn't know if they had the rights to use Ghostbusters. So there's some deleted like scenes where like when they're all like lined up doing their commercial, and they're like call the Ghostbusters. Like there's other ones where they're like call the Ghost Smashers and
Ew,
like
that would have been awful.
Ghost capturers.
Ghost doers.
I know Ghost Smashers is definitely one of them.
That'd
But
be awful.
so why they settle on Ghostbusters? It might have just been they like the sound of it.
Well, she looks pissed. She's shaking her head.
She's like none of this.
I imagine
Winston's
that you
also pissed.
are like dealing with Peter Venkman. Like just
No, I cause it. Like Peter doesn't care till it causes much destruction as I do. I enjoy damage. You'd be like Peter, being like, whoa, nice shooting, Tex, calm down.
I drove a car once that you could seat 3 people in the front. It's not really a thing anymore, except
No.
for in
Raid
trucks.
lady.
Well, yeah, because now you need seatbelts for all of them.
Yeah,
Alright.
I had a huge Cadillac DeVille. You could fit
What?
like 6 people in the car and then 2 more in the trunk.
Yeah,
We tried it.
This is a caddy. So those Cadillacs were luxurious little boats.
They were ginormous and really hard to park.
So there's a radio call that's like, hey, there's a disturbance at the library on 5th, the New York Public Library main branch.
Hey, we went there.
We did go there, so you'll actually probably recognize some of this. Obviously, the facade is fairly accurate. You have Patience and Fortitude, I believe, are the 2 lions, but
Those are their names?
yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
I think Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia, who they talk about in Ghostbusters 2, actually named them.
Oh.
But one of them is a missing. So they're out of...
in this. I was like, in real life?
No, you see,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
yeah.
one there, and then
I got you. Where's the other?
well, there it is. It's missing.
okay.
So
Thank you.
it's no longer Patience is gone. They're out of patience. Ha ha. So there's a little bit of a mystery as far as like what happened, what caused that disturbance. So we gotta search around the library. I wonder if there's anything here. Did you see the pigeon flying up here? Just
Is that
floating.
a pigeon?
It's just a bird, just floating in the air.
That's really weird.
Just-
There's
they
2 of them.
Yeah, they're just a little bit of a glitch there. That's okay. Just some floating
in
pigeons.
slow-mo.
Oh. And then we got a tandem of class 5s. That's Cruster and Crusto.
Ew, why are they
I didn't name them that.
Oh, now there's lots of pigeons flying in slow mo.
Well, now
What is
they
happening?
They got scared.
But they're flying in slow
I don't
motion.
want to deal with these evil devil pigeons. I don't know if I want to go in.
Go
I'm scared.
in. Just
No,
go
but
in.
it says do not cross.
Man up. You like breaking rules.
I will jump over them. All right. Well, conveniently they've
Also,
made this
how dare you
pathway.
destroy the other lion? Like, one's missing, let's just destroy the other one.
Look at the creepy birds. I
Well,
don't
there's
like the
probably something up
birds.
there.
All right. So we're in the library, and this is pretty accurate if you have been there to the New York Public Library main branch.
This plus 1,000 people.
Yeah, like, and remember, weren't there like roped off areas
Yeah.
and like, I think there was like, was there a bag check there when we went?
Yeah,
Was
I
that-
think so. I don't know. I just assume that everywhere now.
Yeah. I know the first time I ever went there was a bag check, and I felt that was really weird. I was like, to go into a library, I have to have my bag checked?
Hashtag America.
America. All right. So I should be getting a new weapon, tool, whatever you want to call it. If you consider the proton pack a weapon or a tool,
I mean, the way you use it, it's definitely
it's
a weapon of destruction.
probably more destructive than helpful. Like, I'm just destroying this beautiful landmark. Why do they let me in here?
I wouldn't.
I mean, I would fire me if I was, working for the Ghostbusters. Just
Yes, you're
take
the
out that
worst.
bust. I'm busting the bust. All right, so they were chatting about the new equipment. So this is the Shock Blast and the Stasis Stream.
The shocker.
Shocker! 3 in the no, but never mind. So the Shock Blast is like a little shotgun. So it's really condensed and powerful up close, but then it disperses.
Yeah, it
So
does.
what? What? I'm trying to explain. And then the Stasis Stream is kind of like a freeze ray, and Ray even says like it's nothing to do with cold, but its effect on a ghost is like it slows them down and solidifies them, like freezes them.
So it's a freeze ray.
It's a freeze ray, it's just not a cold gun,
But I don't think that cold would freeze a ghost because it's just
Well, that's kind of the point.
air.
Because like I mean there's some theories like with like ghosts like that's why there's cold spots is they're like collecting that energy. So yeah, I don't know if cold would really do much to
Have
them.
you ever been somewhere and felt a cold spot?
Not like particularly. I mean probably, but not where I'm like, wow, it's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I feel like I'm always weird with my temperatures. So Have you felt a cold spot or walked into like a room and like suddenly like you're seeing your breath?
Not like seeing my breath, but I've like walked into a room
And you're like, it's
it-
weirdly cold, and I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, for
something strange.
For sure. I feel like there's always like a feeling like you can feel the energy difference when you walk somewhere that's haunted, like we did with the Dr. Phillips house. When
So for yours, it's more of
I walked
like
into
a-
it and I was like, that's when I asked. I'm like, hey, like, is this place haunted? And
So
he was like, I don't want to tell you the truth.
So you have more of like a sixth sense than like a physical
I mean,
sense.
it's just
Both, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe. Yeah. Well, what about you, loyal viewers, listeners, peoples? Do you feel people are legitimate when they say they have a sixth sense, that they can kind of sense that paranormal or extra, world energy, whatever you want to call it? Or do you think that's just kind of a bunch of hokum and they're just all kind of making it up?
I promise you can.
I mean, I would say if I had to guess our viewership, the people, watching our videos are probably going to side on the, yeah, we do. But I'd be curious, if some actually don't, but they're just kind of interested in the history of the paranormal and some of the videos we do. So let us know. We're always curious. It's exciting times. So I'm trying to remember. I have to get into the Rose reading room.
Hey, we went. No, we didn't go in there.
Yeah.
We did go in there. Wasn't it blocked off?
No, when you see it, you'll
okay.
you'll know what I'm talking about. I just don't remember. And the PKE meter here.
If I remember, it's on like one of the upper levels.
Yeah, and I'm trying to.
And then we couldn't go past a certain point because there were people like
because it's actually
reading.
like a working. It is a working library. If you ever have wondered. Oh, there we go. Oh, so it's and so this is where it's different because it is on the second or third floor.
Yeah.
But in the video game, it's just like on the first floor, which is not quite accurate. But
No, and I feel like you'd be entering in from that side versus
like the far
other
side.
one. Yeah.
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 So we got a book golem here, similar to the kitchen golem that we faced with Happy Sargassi. So
Why does he beat his chest like a gorilla?
I don't know. He's a very large, dangerous animal primate thing.
Of books.
I don't know. He also just like did a little mega fart there.
You're destroying so many books.
I didn't start this. I mean, well, I guess I did. To be fair, I was destroying a lot of things, but he's the one who collected all the books. So let's try some. I don't like his little beefy farts there.
Oh.
He's just like. Ruh. So I was trying to slow him down with the stasis stream. Maybe that'll work. Give him a little freezy.
Are you fighting this by yourself?
Yeah, they're like up on the balcony, not really.
Just like what?
They're like, you got it, go get him. There's a few times that they do that you're like, can you maybe come down and help, buddy? That would be nice. So we've almost got him worn down. Also, I don't remember the reading room being this big.
No, it was.
I guess there was a lot of benches. Now that I've cleared all the desks
You've
and
destroyed all of the benches.
if
Now
you
it's
can
raining
still use
pages?
this,
Whee!
you gotta keep destroying the benches. And be like, no, I was like that when I got here.
I feel like the benches were more like closer together. Like the room was very full.
All right, now I gotta investigate the area. So, would you go back to the library, or do you feel like we've done it? It's over.
I'd go back for you.
Oh, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, like it was really pretty, but like if I'm not checking out a book, like for me it's kind of like, oh, I saw it. Like I don't know. I want to see libraries where you're covered like with books like all over. You know what I mean? Like there's archways of books and like winding paths. I think that's so pretty.
I want to
like,
see
anything with like a winding staircase. That's
you and
my
your
type of...
winding staircases. Let me
Or
in.
like the ladders thing. I've always wanted to ride one of the ladders from the library.
Oh,
where
like
you, slide
like
across.
I was gonna say like the Mummy, but I think she just has it's more like Belle from like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, so I can do that.
So you can just
and then die.
just shit talk the village, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, thanks."
What's that?
It's the Library Ghost. So the reason that they detour to the library is they think that their very first haunt, which they never captured, the Library Ghost, is up to her old tricks. By old tricks, I mean really
of just shushing people.
Yeah, she just kind of shushed and scared us and an old lady and stacked some books. Like she didn't really do much.
She was doing her thing, and she's like, "Can you guys like not
Can you keep it down? Like I'm trying to okay." Just the Dewey Decimal System here isn't going to solve itself. So yeah, they're a little obsessed with her, and they go into her backstory a little bit more.
in this?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I'll save that for when they start talking a little bit more about her backstory. Cool guys. We're just gonna look at the floating things. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
So, wait, come here. I want to get you.
Oh, bye. There's a wall there.
Door, let me in. Let me in. Library Ghost. So yeah, her name is Eleanor Twitty.
Twitty.
Which and I'm not trying to make fun of anyone named Eleanor, but Eleanor I just feel is a wonderful old lady name for like a
definitely,
librarian.
for
Like,
sure.
I'm Eleanor.
But that's also in Haunting of Hill House. That's Nell. That's
yeah.
her. That's her name.
Mm-hmm.
I think the modern depiction of Eleanor would be like Ellie.
Yeah.
For short.
Yeah, I know an Ellie. I doubt she's watching this, but hey, Ellie. You were fun to be on tours with. Yeah, I think if you, like, straight up didn't go by, like, Nell, Nellie, or Ellie, like, if you go by Eleanor, it's like the Bob. Have you seen that comic? Where it's like, Bobs are not born. Like, you go through life and you, like, start off as, like, Robbie.
Robert.
No, you start off as Robbie, then it's Rob, and then you become Robert. And then, by the time you hit, like, old age and you're balding, then you're finally Bob. Like, the evolution of the Robert name. Hey, there it is.
That's not the Librarian Ghost.
No, there's multiple
Oh,
ghosts.
yeah, the Class 5 entities.
Yeah, so there's these two tandem little guys causing trouble. There's also the librarian and maybe something else stirring in these parts. And
Whoa,
so,
somebody's coming.
so this is kind of emblematic of, like, you remember in the first movie when they, like, go down the steps to, like, all the other, like, stacked books and stuff?
Yes.
So that was all filmed in LA. So that does not, you cannot access anything like that in
No
the...
stacked books in New York.
No, I mean, they might do it for fun, just, you know, to make you feel better, but you cannot visit the public library and go see anything like that. I mean, it's also kind of implied that would be, like, a closed off.
A lower private section.
Yeah, like
staff only.
That's kind of how I always took it.
Like the restricted section in Harry Potter.
Oh, I just got knocked down by a bookcase. So this part's annoying because it's like a maze, and then they'll just randomly, like, swing open things to, like, be like, all right, now you can enter. Now that we've knocked you over.
Sure.
Oh, you're gonna love it. I think it's this part. This is where, at one point, you go into, like, a children's section, and there's all these, like, creepy children being like,
oh, great.
hey, how's it going?
Like children ghosts?
Yeah.
Why? What child has died in a library?
I didn't kill the children. Don't ask me. I mean, there is a serial killer called the Collector that I think he more murders the librarians. We got a paper construct. And these guys are really good to take out with the shock blast. Oh, hey, buddy. Hi, there you are.
Right on top of you.
He's just not bothering me.
Well, it's just like a bee, you know? It's not going to sting you unless you bother it.
Okay. Thank you for that
You're welcome.
entomology lesson.
Science.
Just for all you bothered by bees, don't bother
Bees
them.
are fine. It's wasps.
Wasps
They're
are the
worst.
devil.
Yeah.
And yellow jackets. And hornets, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah. Anything that's not a bumblebee is the worst.
Bumblebees are wonderful.
I know, they're so cute. Their little fuzzy butts.
I'm trying to get through these book mazes. There we go. So, wandering through, looking for the creepy children section to scare Heidi. That's the best. Oh, I want to knock one of these out. Oh, that would have been cool to knock him out. Alright, I guess we'll follow him. So yeah, we're just traversing, and then, you know, we're gonna go further down into the... didn't want to go there. Maybe.
Weird.
We'll try and go in there. Alright.
That's not creepy at
Oh,
all.
hi. So there's this.
What is this, like a break room?
It's full of black slime. That's normal. Okay.
It's
beautiful.
Reminds me of black mold.
Ew.
Ugh. Bad
Yeah.
memories.
Give us a comment if you've ever had black mold.
If you live in Albuquerque.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, still trying to track down all the ghosties. There's a lot going on in the library. And they explain that, and one of the cool things is they kind of connect a lot of the locations in the first Ghostbusters as to, like, there is a greater reason why all these supernatural events happen at certain locations, like the public library, and a museum gets brought up, and some other places, and it's all because of Evo Shandor. The Shandor Mandor.
Vil Shandor.
Yeah, like, was that with like Deville?
I don't know. So there's a lot of debate on, whether physical locations are haunted or whether like certain people are haunted. What are your thoughts?
I think both, but I lean more towards places.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of people being haunted is you have people who are sensitive to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like a specific ghost or ghosts are necessarily attracted to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're dealing with something like that, it's probably not a ghost. It's probably something a little darker, more maybe a little more demonic. But I'd be curious to hear what other people think. What's your take on it?
Where's that class 5 animal?
No, what I'm asking.
Oh.
that was to you.
Well, bad.
You're like, yeah, agree.
No, I do agree. I think places are haunted, and I think that people who are more sensitive to it are going to notice it more throughout their lives.
Okay. But do you think like people get haunted?
Like you said, like if you summon something and you're like, hey, let's party, and it's gonna be like, all right, yeah.
So do you think that's the only way like something like that can be like
Invoke? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. So if you've ever been haunted by a ghost or a poltergeist, let us know.
I mean, I'm more curious about like if you were hunted by some sort of demonic figure, or you do disagree and you feel like, yeah, I've had an experience where I've had this perpetual spirit that seems to latch on to me rather than a location.
Yeah, but no matter where you go.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if someone has felt that there's been this reoccurring entity. Because my thing is, and it's really hard to say. It's all kind of conjecture and what some believe.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like, and the general agreed upon opinion is that the reason a ghost or spirit might happen is because they have some reason to stay, or they don't know that they shouldn't stay. And so, because of that, I would find it weird. Like that would make sense to stick to a place, but it wouldn't make sense to stick to a person unless it was maybe your like significant other. You know.
I'm gonna haunt the crap out of you.
Oh, thanks. I should probably actually take this serious because I'm about to die and Ray's down too. Help me, Ray, help me. We've almost got him. So we're dealing with both Cruster and Crusto at the same time. And they finally knocked me in.
Cousins of Presto.
What?
Like the pasta sauce.
What is the?
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say like Krusty the Clown or something. That would be. Would you like a clown spirit? Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm not afraid of clowns like people are. I think if you make a clown look really creepy, yeah, it'll be creepy. But I think clowns in general are not creepy, except for your birthday cake that you had as a kid. That was terrifying.
Oh, was that?
I think that was your first birthday. You had like the clown
yeah,
cake.
I kind of remember it.
It's terrifying. Like, I just remember you showing me a picture. I'm just like, ugh.
I don't. Clowns could definitely be creepy. We've talked a little bit about this before.
But I'm not like actively afraid of clowns.
Yeah, but I remember my brother had this like it was like a plush clown.
Oh God,
doll,
why?
He like got it when he like got out of like having strep throat, and yeah, they gave that to him, and I was like, oh, that's great. I don't want to see that ever. All right, we've done a good deal of damage here. It was a successful.
How many ghosts have you caught?
That was for all that damage. That was just 2 ghosts.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't been doing great.
I feel like you cause more damage than the ghosts
Well,
do.
I mean that's part of the comedy. Is this is not very good, not a very successful system of busting ghosts. So, all right, we're trying to get up with Egon. So a little reference back to the Dewey Decimal cards. What are those called? Help me. The little card things.
A library card?
No, but when they were in those little...
The Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah, but didn't they have a specific name? Like when you pulled out that... Is it card catalog? That's what I'm trying to think of.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me. Not at all.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. There's a song in my head about having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
Is this like a Vine or something?
No, it's from Arthur.
Oh
The
dear.
cartoon.
Like the PBS...
It's the musical episode
They had a musical episode?
Yeah, it was my favorite, and I totally have that burnt on a CD somewhere.
That sounds
and...
awful.
No,
That's
it's
just
great.
does not sound good
I
at all.
love it.
Oh well, I did not watch Arthur when I was growing up. It was past my prime, so I do not know any Arthur.
Oh, I like that ghost.
This is the paper constructs again. So they explain like essentially the Librarian Ghost is probably a little bit more powerful than I think some people ever thought, because she's creating these paper constructs, little demon things.
So she's making this?
Yeah. So she's really mad at us, like
yeah, because you're destroying her library.
Yeah, and she says that like there's a few times where she's just screaming, going, "My books!"
GTFO, like, bro, get out.
Nah, gotta catch her. You know, I don't know why.
Gotta catch him all.
I don't know why
Ghostbusters!
the rookie has like a vested interest. Like, I get like Egon and Ray being obsessed, but like, why do I have to get dragged into this? Like, I don't know, I'm not. I guess I'm getting paid. So they're like, come on.
No, it's an internship. It's free.
Oh.
It's free labor. You get paid in experience.
Listen, if the experience was I could destroy national landmarks.
I wouldn't want to destroy national landmark.
Depends on the landmark.
Yeah, that's true.
It knows what it did. Come on, come and face me. Blast you in the back. She's not very happy with me.
Well, yeah.
Alright, no, she just keeps running away from you, and this is most of the level of just like, alright, we finally got her, and you can't do anything to hurt her, and then yeah, she just disappears, which doesn't really make sense. Like, how do you have no effect on this ghost? Like, it's a little weird. Search in the library. Oh, maybe this is, maybe I get to go to the creepy kitty section now? It's my favorite location. It's also like covered in black slime.
Oh, poor kids.
Well, they aren't covered in black slime. Like some.
Well, what about the ghosts?
What do you mean?
You said that there are children ghosts.
You don't actually see them. You just hear them all like whispering
Oh.
and like being creepy.
Yeah, children laughter is the worst.
Yeah, and they like when you leave it, all of a sudden like you just hear this like little boy going bye, and it's like I'm gonna get out of there.
Did you know that if you stay behind in the stretch room of the haunted mansion, you can hear voices, and one of them is like a little girl, and she's like,
Oh.
yeah. I try to make sure I'm last.
Don't like that.
No, it's great.
It's gotta be hard to hear with all like the ruckus of like
Well,
people
it's the thing.
exiting
It's like
the stretch
you have
room.
to be the last one to leave,
Mm.
and then because everyone else is in the next room, and you can hear them. It's really cool.
That's cool. Fun little Easter egg for the Haunted Mansion fans out there. Is that your favorite ride at Walt Disney World? We're gonna go Walt Disney World.
At Walt Disney World, it is not my favorite ride.
What?
At
Pirates?
Disneyland, it is my favorite ride.
Well, all right.
No, Splash Mountain.
Oh.
Disney World Splash Mountain is my favorite, but it's more the memories behind it. That's me and my mom. But Disneyland's Haunted Mansion is my favorite Disney ride of all time, of all the parks.
Every single
That
park
is-
you've ever been to.
Yeah, that's my dream house.
You want to own a southern plantation.
Yeah.
That's all right. You do you. All right, so we're trying to take out these. They're called book bats. These little guys. So they're pretty easy to disperse. They're just hard to hit because they're all flying around and.
They're so
flapping.
cute.
I don't know if I'd call them cute. They remind me though. I want to say like in like Super Castlevania 4, they had like an enemy like this. It was just like evil books flying at you.
Evil books.
Thanks for your help, Ray. Let's go. Come on, just catch this librarian that you've got some weird fixation over. Let's go. Open the door. They're so slow. Do it.
He has to open
Yeah,
it?
and
Does he
that's
have the key?
No, they just magically are locked until a Ghostbuster decides, all right, you've done enough. Now we can leave. All right. Well, on that note, there's a little bit more of the library, but we're gonna take a breather. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Come back next week. We're gonna continue on the library and see what else is in store out there.
I do want to end on one question
Okay.
for our listeners. Where would you spend the night in a cemetery? And if no, how much money would it take? We'll give you our answers next week.
All right. So thank you so much, guys.
See you then.